That is the next big breaking news which is coming in, that the South Group allegedly had influenced the liquor policy so that they had given kickbacks, alleged kickbacks, to those who were the topmost positions as per the enforcement director. They had called him the Kingpin. Now the CBI is also looking into the alleged conspiracy behind making amendments and tweaks to the Delhi liquor policy. In fact, they have also claimed that they have managed to trace the hawala money all the way across to Goa. Another claim which is coming in from the CBI is that the profit margins were increased from 6% to 12%. Let me go across to Bhavtosh. Bhavtosh, if you can sum up the case that the CBI is building against Arvind Kejriwal, because in the courtroom, Arvind Kejriwal's counsel very categorically said that this is a history. This case will go down in history about how biased the investigative agency has been. Do they have the documentation to back this case against the Chief Minister?
Meghna, as far as the case are concerned, the two cases are very similar. The only difference is that CBI case pertains to corruption, how the corruption or the illegal gratification or changing of money or illicit money led to changes or influence that led to changes in the excise policy, or as you said, the profit margin that increased from 5% or 6% to 12%, a charge that has always been denied. The groups remain same. The South Group that had received that allegedly paid kickbacks worth at least 100 crore rupees, and what the case of Enforcement Directorate is that that in fact led to money laundering. The Enforcement Directorate said that the proceeds of crime of 100 crore rupees was used, at least part of it was used to in fact fight or was used for the campaign in Goa elections, that around 45 crore rupees was used in Goa election campaign. CBI has also informed the courtroom that this entire South Group came, stayed in a five-star hotel, used a private jet of one of the accused in this case, that Sharad Reddy. This private jet was in fact part of a charter flight was used. This is a private jet. In fact it was a charter flight which was owned by the wife of Sharad Reddy. Now, the flight details are with the Enforcement Directorate as well as with CBI. They have the log details, and they have in fact said that they went and met Vijay Nair. Now, Vijay Nair is said to be very close to Arvind Kejriwal as well as to Manish Sisodia. Having said that, when Arvind Kejriwal was given bail by the trial court, the trial court had said that Enforcement Directorate has not managed to establish whether Vijay Nair is actually close to Manish Sisodia and to Arvind Kejriwal. But the Delhi High Court yesterday accepted the Enforcement Directorate plea, asking for the stay on the trial court order which granted regular bail to Arvind Kejriwal.
Just to simplify things, Bhavtosh, you must explain to us, because there has been a lot of back and forth which has happened in this story, because there were conflicting reports which are coming in. Now, Arvind Kejriwal had earlier filed a plea in the Supreme Court seeking his relief and his bail. However, he has now withdrawn it. The CBI today morning has arrested him. Does this mean that the Delhi Chief Minister will continue to stay behind bars? What is he going to do next from here onwards? Because he's also withdrawn the plea which was there in Supreme Court. Put all of that into perspective. What next for Arvind Kejriwal?
Well, what has happened since last week is that a trial court had in past few days is that a trial court had given bail to Arvind Kejriwal, a regular bail to be, that was opposed by the Enforcement Directorate. Within 12 hours, the Enforcement Directorate went to the Delhi High Court. The Delhi High Court, in fact, had given an interim stay order. On that interim stay order, the lawyers of Arvind Kejriwal had gone to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court had, in fact, said it was a very unusual move on the part of the Delhi High Court to give an interim stay on a trial court's order, and expected that the High Court will give its order. Yesterday, the Delhi High Court had in fact allowed ED's plea, which had asked for a stay order on the trial court's decision to give regular bail. Now, the Enforcement Directorate's plea which had challenge the trial court's order on the regular bail will be taken up in July. So obviously Arvind Kejriwal's counsel's decision to challenge the Delhi High Court's decision giving interim stay became infructuous. That's the reason why they have withdrawn their plea from the Supreme Court. In the trial court order from where we are reporting, the hearing is going on the remand application that has been moved by the CBI.
Right. In fact, do stay on with us. Of course, other than the probe, there's also a lot of politics over it. He is, after all, the sitting Delhi Chief Minister. What happens to the fate of Delhi when the governance is happening from the Tihar jail? Well, that is